Today is an update on the Greenstalk. I wanted to show you guys what is going on. Let's dive in. Let's first talk about my beautiful little strawberries that are coming in, and something that I learned with strawberries. I'm no expert with strawberries. These are strawberry runners and you want to get rid of these. I was keeping them for a very long time, but what I did was plant every other pocket with the strawberries, and as these little runners were growing, I was moving them to the next pocket over, and that's what's created now a big circle of strawberries. But as these go now, I'm getting rid of them because I don't want all of the plant's energy going to grow a new strawberry baby plant. I want it to really get in and take care of the plants that are already there. Now let's talk about tomatoes for a minute. I had the second row of this filled with chives, but I only had a couple spots that actually grew chives. I was out in the main garden. I found little baby tomato plants. Those came from seeds that dropped last year in the garden, and they're volunteer tomatoes. They just voluntarily show up. So I brought these two baby little tomatoes into the Greenstalk. I planted them, and this is now what I have. This is one tomato plant that is going just absolutely everywhere. And it even started coming right up the center of two of the pockets. I've just been letting it go. I haven't been doing any trimming of it, and it's doing really well. There's also another one way over here that you can see on that side. But I'm excited because there are baby tomatoes down here, and I didn't know what they were. And so far, I think they're cherry tomatoes, which is perfect for the Greenstalk because they don't get super heavy. But this was totally unexpected. Now let's talk about maybe some positives or some negatives now that I've had the Greenstalk for a while. The number one positive, look at it. Look at how beautiful this thing is. It is right on my deck. I can walk out, I can grab fruit and veg whenever I want to. Also, if you have a smaller place like an apartment or a small home with a patio, you have a smaller yard, and you're not sitting in 20 acres like me, these are really great to have out because everything's vertical. You could put 2 or 3 of them and have a full garden. It's totally doable for anybody. What's another positive? You can actually control what type of soil you're using in them. I use a potting mix that already had fertilizer in it. If you watch my first video of the unboxing, you can see how I fill them up and put them together. You can also add anything like worm castings or worm tea. If you're doing worm composting like I am, you can pour that through the top or add it to your potting mix. So you get a little bit more of a control of what you're growing your plants in. Now, 2 maybe negatives for me. As the water flows down inside, each section that holds your water has little holes for the water to drip through. Those over time have gotten clogged with soil, so I don't think the little holes around each of the pots is actually working like it should, but it is funneling down the middle large hole and still soaking each section. With that comes the very edge of each of the pockets isn't really getting saturated probably as much as it should. So then how do you remedy that? It's called a hose. Please know you can water the individual pockets. I do come out and spray the individual pockets whenever I just feel in there and they feel dry. So that's something that I've been doing to try and make sure that everything is saturated, is just use your hose and mist the whole thing down like it got a good rain. Another way that I found is really easy to water them is actually fill up a bucket with water and just go ahead and dump it in the top instead of standing there with hose. You can just put your hose into a bucket and walk away. Then come back later, fill up your top, and you can walk away. It's gonna start cycling the water through it. Yes, they are meant to be able to move around your patio if you have the wheel casters on them. They are not that easy to move. You're gonna want to either have 2 people do it or make sure you're really moving it from the bottom. As you can see, there's a breeze up here. My umbrella's blowing, but the wind can get a little rough with this. Now, once my purple beans started taking off, they were going outside the deck. They were going between the railings. They are hanging off the other side. So when I really need to harvest, I'm gonna have to pull it back in. But I didn't want to keep disturbing the beans and having to pull it back every time we had a big wind or we had a big heavy rain. I actually used a string or a tie, and I have it tied down to the deck because I didn't want to have to worry about it falling over. That was just a security measure that I took to make sure it doesn't fall over. I am a brand ambassador for Greenstalk. They did not sponsor this video. They didn't tell me to do the video. I did purchase this one on my own, but then because I always want to make sure I'm giving back to you guys, go ahead and check out the video description. Use that link below, and then you can sign up for $10 off. That $10 off can be used anywhere in their store. So if you already have one, you can purchase other supplies as well. It not only gives you $10 off, it also gives me store credit. And since you've already been purchasing these from the first video, what did I end up getting? I got some fertilizer. I'm gonna be maybe doing a review on this, testing it out. So again, every product that I get or I earn, I'm gonna always make sure I come back to you and let you know what I think of it. This is Dr. Earth homegrown, organic, and natural tomato, vegetable, and herb fertilizer. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. One of the other things that I purchased with my store credit was a bunch of their seeds. One of my indoor gardens, I was going to do all herbs, and probably 95% of my seeds didn't even germinate. So I tried some of these. Did their parsley, oregano, lemon balm, and dill, and I'm telling you, every single one germinated. So we're in the process of getting some herbs inside. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a good day and have fun in your garden.